Hello and welcome again to Farmspace. So I'm still in East London, so we are on the English. So today we are looking at the Massey 200 series and specifically the Global Series. Just what are the differences between the two, and why is it worthwhile so that you can actually go to the newer technologies? Does that actually make sense? What are you getting in both? So Michael Howell will tell me a little bit more. So let's dive into these tractors. Michael, how are you?
Andre, very well, thanks yourself.
Good.
Superb.
Right, okay, so behind you we've got Massey 200 series and we've got the Global Series here on the left-hand side.
That's correct.
First of all, give me a high-level overview of the 200 series and then the Global Series, and then we'll dive deep into them.
All right, so your 200 series, based on the old series that we always had, the 200 series Masseys we always had. Very straightforward, basic tractor, but everything you need there as a runaround type tractor, or in certain farmers where the farmers have smaller farms and that sort of thing, where they just need something for doing their disking, plowing, planting, and this sort of basic type stuff. Then you go to the Global Series. Obviously, the reason it's called a Global Series is because the parts of this tractor are made all across the world, everywhere in the world, and then put together in China. So it's not necessarily built in China, it's put together in China, and that's why it's called a Global Series.
Oh,
Okay.
But they're manufactured all over
the world. You'll find the motors are made in Europe. You know, it's made by AGCO power, it's an AGCO engine inside there. And if you have a look at the back of this tractor, you'll find a lot of similarities between the back of this tractor and the back of your models that come out of the factory in Beauvais, for instance. You know, we had a 5420 the other day on a show, which is made in Beauvais. And if you have a look back of this tractor and the back of that tractor, very, very similar. With the old 200 series, we had the internal pump for your 3-point. Now we've got a pump that's still on the inside, but it's on the side cover. It's a different type of pump compared to the old type pump with the old pistons and chambers and that sort of thing. And now it's got a pump, but it's still inside, but it's easier to work on and maintain and stuff like that. And then it's got external pumps as well for your power steering and your external hydraulics. A lot more, I'd say a bit more robust, especially a big improvement on our previous series we had before this. And your quality is really out of this world, really being improved. When you look at the drawbar, for instance, you see how it's strengthened all the way to the side. We all know the old issues we used to have with the old drawbars that used to have the 4 bolts underneath the drawbar that used to come loose after quite a lot of work and play on the trailers and stuff like that. That's been beefed up big time. And the whole tractor is totally different, for instance, to our old 400 series tractors we used to have that came in from Brazil.
So, but what I want to know is that with these 200 series, I mean, there's a reason why they're called the heritage tractors. It's that with them you get like a proper haragat tractor, which as almost as you say, it's a stockman's tractor.
Yeah.
So, but will that then be able to give me the same type of service, or am I now buying something new that's a lot softer and that won't give me that ruggedness?
No, definitely all very, very much the same, Andre. Still, lots of the portions of this tractor are beefed up though. As I mentioned earlier, the drawbar, your front axles, and then obviously there are things like your maintenance and stuff like that. If you have a look inside here, you have your new air cleaner, you've got a sieve in the front here to protect your radiator, especially for haymaking and stuff like that. If you have excessive grass and stuff like that, you don't have that backing in the front radiator. You've now got a reservoir for your water in the front. It's just the technology's definitely moved and things are definitely improved.
Because I mean, there's about 40 years between these tractors, or 50 years actually, if you think about it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we were selling these in the early 80s and the 90s, huh?
Yeah, so there's
the 200 series,
Yeah, so there's definitely about 40 years between these two, and I mean, as they've moved on, and this got a wet clutch, eh?
Yeah, you get this with a wet clutch and a dry clutch, depending on which one you prefer and what you're going to use the tractor for. Obviously, this is perfect for a front-end loader type tractor, and it's a pucker wet clutch. It's not just a system where they're building solenoids. This tractor, you can go forward 20, 30 k's an hour, flick the switch back, she'll come to and halt and she'll reverse. So for front-end loader type work, this machine is perfect. This has also got a 12-speed gearbox in it. You've got a low range, and then you've got 6 gears, which you can change on your main gear lever on the right-hand side there.
But what I want to know is, okay, so You're saying that more or less technology-wise, yes, this one is older, but we know that it's proven robust and so forth. But why would I pay the extra amount of money to go to the new ones if I just want to do the field work and all of those
Well,
things?
what you're getting here is you're going to have more ratios. So
Yes.
whatever work you're doing, if it's spraying, fertilizing, even pulling a plow or ripper, you're going to be exactly the right speed you need to be when you're pulling those type of implements. Compared to with the 8-speed gearbox, you're going to, on the odd occasion, have an issue where you either one gear too slow, one gear too fast. So you're calibrating your sprayer, your fertilizer spreader. You're going to be able to select your gear perfectly to be in the right speed to put that down for that application.
And does that also help, I mean, with rising fuel prices and all these types of things, that this would maybe be a little bit more fuel efficient?
Oh, most definitely, most definitely. Also, I think your weight distribution on the tractor is now better, and you're putting your power down on the ground better. So the Global Series starts from a 61 kilowatt, it goes up to the 6713, which is a 98 kilowatt. It's a 4708, where you start at your 61 kilowatt. So the model we got you, Andre, is the MF4709, which is a 69 kilowatt. It's got a 3-cylinder motor in it, obviously turboed. From there, it goes to a 5709, which is also a 69 kilowatt, but with a 4-cylinder motor in it. After that, you get this model here, which is 5710, 76 kilowatt, and that's a 4-cylinder motor on. After that, it goes to a 6711, 6712, and a 6713. One thing that people don't take into consideration, the last 2 digits are your horsepower.
Yes.
So that 6713, obviously 130 horsepower. 6712 is 120 horsepower, 6711, 110. The 10 is 100 horsepower, and the 09 is a 90 horsepower motor. But very much based on the same sort of gearbox, the same sort of platform, and they give you very, very similar sort of spec.
And with this now, I can get the cab as well. And which ones are the cabs available?
In the full range, from a 4708,
Yes.
you can get all the way to the 6713 with a cab. And from the 4708, you can get it in dry clutch. You can get it with an 8-speed, a 12-speed, or with a wet clutch 12-speed. The 4709s then go straight away to the wet clutch. And the 5709, 5710, the Orgum, then standard with the wet clutch above
So
that.
one of the things that some of the other dealerships told me is the feedback that they're getting from the farmers are that the total cost of ownership on these globals are very, very low. What has been your experience?
Yeah, for sure. Well, you go down to a 500-hour service interval. You also get a 2-year, 2,000-hour warranty.
Yes.
But with that 500-hour service interval, definitely helps, especially when it comes to the cost of the labor of doing the service and the travel. As we're not in Europe, we haven't got a deal every 30 kilometers away from every single customer. So sometimes you've got to travel 100, 150 kilometers, even 200 kilometers sometimes to do these services. So definitely you save as a farmer not getting charged for those kilometers and the labor for the services and so on, So that definitely where it helps. Also, if you're putting your weight down, if you're getting less wheel slip, obviously it saves you in fuel, With a wet clutch, your headland management, it's so much quicker and easier no matter what you're doing at the headland for turning around, for instance, So when you take that into consideration, definitely also your seating on that tractor, sitting at where your gear levers and everything like that, your drive is a lot more comfortable. Therefore, you'll get more hours out of your driver as well. Yeah.
And in terms of feedback that you've had from the farmers itself that's got the globals, have you had any major issues with them at all up until now?
Oh, they've been superb. I must be honest, really, really good. We've had 1 or 2 machines that have got well over 6,000 hours on farms where they really have a tough life and they're really going extremely well, especially also some chaps
I can think in your area because this is almost the guy's main tractor.
This is totally
So he's got a tough life. He does everything with that tractor.
For sure.
I mean, when you go up to the Free State, this will be the shunted tractor just in terms of move the fertilizer wagons around and things like that. So it doesn't really do much.
No, definitely, Andre. I mean, this is your top of the range tractor for these guys. You know what I mean? When they go to Nampo, they can't believe what's running there. So this is used for your ripping, disking, plowing, planting, baling, raking, mowing, totally. I mean, obviously, generally the guys are going bigger and bigger all the time, like the rest of the world and the rest of the country. But yes, in our area still, the chaps are, this is their tractor. They put a ripper on here, they put a 5-ton or a 7-ton ripper on here, and they do their green feed planting and stuff like that. Totally, these is what these tractors are used for. And a lot of dairy farmers are using them for front-end loader work.
Yeah.
There they're going well. Mixer wagons, and they're doing extremely well on that, where we've had some opposition that's been struggling on their PTOs and that, going extremely well, no problems whatsoever. So yeah, really performing extremely well.
Short and the long of it, you can recommend the Global Series.
Oh, most definitely, most definitely.
Awesome. Michael, thank you very much. Right. Yeah. Right. So, Global Series at Tractor World in East London versus the old heritage ones. So it's not necessary to say that because it's new, it's not Aragat anymore. It's got the same basic DNA, and that runs through at the end of the day. And as I've seen with the other dealerships, everyone is saying that these things, they do the job properly, and now you know why. So that's here from Farmspace. If you're interested, we'll put the link on top or below, and then you can get in contact with them. And yeah, you can get yourself a Global or a Heritage. This is here from Farmspace. Till next time. Cheers.